been up all night?
Is it morning?
Yes.
Then I've been up all night.
What's going on with you? I haven't slept in 2 days.
With insomnia, nothing's real. Everything's far away.
Can't be easy after 3 days of no sleep. Are you seeing things yet?
Hey, are you awake?
Yeah. 12 hours of work and I still can't sleep. Damn.
They get you when you sleep. But you can only stay awake so long.
I am awake.
Is the light keeping you awake?
No.
28 days. 6 hours. 42 minutes. 12 seconds.
How long's it been since you slept?
It's coming up on the 7th day. It's okay, I checked Guinness. The record's 11.
People don't act like this! What's wrong with you? Henry,
Shut up.
not normal. She's right. What? You fell asleep on the couch again.
You know you're supposed to go to your room.
Another night up like this and you're really gonna lose it.
Honey, I can't sleep.
And I hope it's the long one.
Yeah.
Why you so concerned me go to sleep?
Good night.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Good night, Ray.
Why don't you go to sleep? Why I can't just sit here and look at your ass?
Just as the little engine was making its way across the dresser. Boom!
Mike, you ain't gonna get no sleep there either. I'm telling you, because I'm up now.
I know why you're here, Neil. I know what you've been doing. I know why you hardly sleep.
Sparky, why don't you turn off the TV and come to bed?
Sleep! It's time to go to sleep! Oh my God!
It looked like this.
Can't sleep. Clown will eat me. Can't sleep. Clown will eat me.
And may please go to sleep.
I can't sleep. Don't you understand? I can't sleep.
Do you not wish to sleep, sir?
I don't think so.
Way better with more people.
I'm gonna come tell you. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, get in here, man. Get right in there.
Now you will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep.
What up, what up? What is going on? Hey, Jamie. Terry Jane. Indica or sativa? Hey, Susan. What's up, Mike? Does anyone else see an arrest soon connected to Delphi? Yes, I do. I definitely do. What's up, D? What's going on? 11 p.m., South Carolina, but I'm an old lady. What's up, Indy? CJK, what's good? How you doing, Mike? Miss Thang, what up? What's going on, Lisa? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they will be making an arrest very soon. But the thing is, I don't know if Richard Allen has dirt on somebody else, or if somebody else who participated may have more dirt on Richard Allen. So it may not make sense for them to come forward. It's a good year, Susan. It's going to be your best year yet. What's up? Growing crazy. Growing. How's your garden? Good evening, everyone. I like that. It took me forever to realize that I was from the hood. Most people that are from the hood, they don't know it. They think they came from the suburbs. It took me 40 years to realize that. Man, you lived in the hood. Love South Carolina. My oldest was born in Myrtle Beach. Shout out to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I moved there in a heartbeat if I could. CJK, an arrest as an accomplice to the murder? I don't know. I think there may have been a group of people. I mean, if you ask me, I wouldn't say 100%, but I would say 95% this was premeditated. And I think, I don't know the extent, but Kagan Klein was definitely involved in that Delphi murder. For sure. What's up, Lisa Sheriff? Dwight West. Hi, Sleuth. How you doing tonight? Big plans for the weekend? Nope. Not really. Me and the wives, we stay active. Like today, we went on a little adventure. I wish I could show it to you guys, but you know, people, they like to exploit information to try to hurt you for whatever reason. I don't know. Jealousy, mad that you blocked them, whatever. Either way, they're very dangerous. Growing crazy. Haven't started it yet. Too cold. Greenhouse. Hoop house is ready. 20. Oh yeah, you don't have that good weather, huh? I mean, you have probably decent weather. You might need greenhouses a lot more than I do. I need more shade houses. Really. Come midsummer, ooh, in that 115, 120 degree weather, you guys will be praying for that snow. Mike Essery says someone was waiting down the hill. Let me turn this music down a little bit. I know a lot of people don't like this song, but that's my insomnia shit. Sorry. Someone was waiting down the hill, in my opinion. I think so. I think it's possible they were taken. I don't think that that's the case. Could have been just... I just don't understand. Because only two things can be true. Either they were taken and brought back, or this group that was hanging around the bridge around 2:45, 3 p.m. were involved. You guys call that as above, so below guy crazy, but I mean, he's onto something. I mean, he's not onto something, but he's onto the truth. Regardless of what he thinks he sees, you know, he probably senses it more than he sees it. He just don't know it. But yeah, there's definitely a lot going on. There was a couple under the bridge. They were crossing the bridge. There's proof of it. They weren't just under the bridge. There's conversations where they were talking about being there at 2:45, 3 p.m. Yeah, lots going on. I just hope investigators are doing as good as these sleuths. Teresa, what's up? It was definitely premeditated. Yeah, I really think it was. And we talked about this early on when we first heard about the Anthony Shots and the Keegan Kline connection. Is it possible they were sitting in a room together talking about a bunch of dirty shit? And Kagan was like, yeah, I'm talking to this girl. And then somebody in that room, and we have this, on a live stream where we talked about these theories. Maybe Richard Allen was sitting in that room and he was like, what? Huh? Who? He said, yeah, Libby German or whatever, and he was like, oh yeah, really? And then took interest because he knew her. Perhaps he was already coveting. What's up, Lisa? What's going on, Vanessa? Hey, Linda. Susan. Holding it down the chat. Hey, Miss Dog Lover. Tried to send a super chat. Says my account is suspended. YouTube up to its old tricks. Yeah, maybe. Aw, thank you, Teresa. I like your new logo, too. What's up, Tax? My posse's on Broadway. It's a good track. Showing your age a little bit, but good track. Spirit is willing. True Crime Housewife. Hello. One of the former supervisors at the Terrific Nurse passed away this evening. He'd like to ask for prayers for her family. Thanks in advance. One of supervisors and a Terrific Nurse pet. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, send out prayers. Power of prayer. I don't know. I'm almost done sharing that, Like I don't want to share God with anybody anymore. It's not my duty. Defense putting off Richard Allen chance at bail is telling Richard Allen is going to have to plea out, in my opinion. Well, the thing is, the defense hasn't received all of the discovery, right? So they're not in a good position to advise him because they don't have all the information. Once they're in a position to advise him of what his next action, what his next move should be, in my opinion, they're going to tell him, look, bro, it's obvious others are involved. Now that we know everything that they know, look, dude, it's obvious. You got to do something. And this is the same thing that happened with Keegan Kline. You know what I'm saying? Keegan Kline, you guys think he's a stupid idiot, but he's from the streets. I don't care what you say. Dude's been catfishing, doing drugs, and running around with criminals since 2014 at least. And that's just on paper. So, and these connections run deep. These guys stay busy. They ain't got nothing else to do. Vanessa says, prayers to your friends, TCH. Mike Essery says, send him prayers. True Crime Housewife says, thanks, everyone. It ain't nothing. What are you up to, Vanessa? I just can't wait for all the guilty parties to get arrested, then prosecuted. We need them off our streets. Oh, man. I don't even know what to say about that. It's like it goes so deep. You know what I mean? It's a spiritual battle. You don't want to listen to me, but it is. Ooh, super chat, Miss Dog Lover. Thank you. I looked at the videos. Another sub mentioned Richard Allen behind Libby. It's definitely not him. Yeah, that's what I said. It is not him. I mean, I can't say 100%, but it obviously looks like Cody Patty. Growing Crazy says Richard Allen will roll. Yep, I agree. He will roll. Keegan Kline rolled. He will roll. Or maybe Richard Allen won't roll and somebody else will roll on Richard Allen. Be like, yeah, he's a real cold-hearted son of a bitch. And this was my part in all of it. Excuse me. CJK, Allen had a motive, just a sick fantasy, or driven by hate. How'd he find his target? Oh, okay, let me reread this. These are all questions. Allen had a motive, just a sick fantasy, or driven by hate? How'd he find his target? Yes, deep. Why? Well, like Doug Carter, you know, why Delphi, why Carroll County? What he was saying was this: if you answer all those questions, it's because this person lives there. You know what I mean? That's what he was referring to. He's like, why Delphi? Why Carroll County? Why the state of Indiana? What he was trying to say was that the person lives in Delphi. That's why. Why Libby? Why Abby? Because there's a connection. That's what he's saying. He's trying to tell us that there's a connection. But he's trying to talk to the people that know about the connection. Specifically. Yeah, me too. It's going to be a Rickroll. Indeed. Dwight West, if KK really told that he was there waiting in a Jeep, he can't be so stupid to say that if he wasn't there. Okay. Well, there's many levels to what you just said. So, first of all, if it's true, now think about this. Let's say before Keegan Kline ever mentioned him being in a Jeep, and I don't even know if he ever mentioned being in a Jeep, but let's say if he mentioned being in a vehicle waiting while in it, and he never In this story, he never made mention of a name. He just said he was waiting in a vehicle while somebody else went and perpetrated the crime, right? At least that's the way the story goes. Now, if, let's say he kept that a secret, he never told a soul until he made a deal with ISP, became a state's witness, and an informant, was taken out of the custody of the Carroll County Jail, placed in the custody of ISP, brought to the Wabash River to Peru. And the only reason I've heard that they do that is to point out specific locations. Okay? So he's obviously connected. I don't care what you say. And if he's not, smack me on the wrist. To me, it's plain and simple. Kagan's not as dumb as you think. And he's going to wait, just like Richard Allen is doing. He waited until he got advice from his attorney, like any smart person would do. If they found something at his house, his attorneys will advise him to plea. Yep, and they will. That's why they want this story in entirety. Right now, the prosecution might be playing games, political games. Sounds like they haven't gotten all of the discovery. So maybe they wanted them to jump, and they're like, hey, we haven't gotten everything. And under the Constitution, you have a right to a speedy trial. So they better not fuck this up. Hey, what's up, Ruckus? True Crime with Marvin Frank. What is up? What's going on, Jari? Hey, Eric. I wonder if they found the murder weapon. I don't think so. I think they found a phone. I think they found the phone that Richard Allen was using. That may have been the phone that was logging in and out that morning. And we said that on a couple live streams, when we read Keegan Klein's interview transcript. Once we read that part, logging in and out, and the determination of the investigators during the interrogation to pinpoint that somebody else, was using the Anthony Shots account. Who else? Like, to us and to the outsider looking in, it sounds like maybe somebody, this is some kind of account that's passed around. But no, to the investigators, they already knew it meant shortly after, during that morning, who else was using the account? Come on, Keegan. Who else was using the account? They just want him to say, yeah, it was this person. And I think he has. Yep, I think he is. Susan says, why is this shit happening everywhere to our kids? Well, for one, we're raising bad kids. 2, we're not taking personal responsibility. And 3, people are just evil. They don't believe in God. They don't love God. They have no respect for the, love thy neighbor as you would yourself. There's no morals. There's a rebellion against righteousness. For whatever reason. Who knows? Grown crazy. Sitting in jail cell for a while. Hard. He will roll. If KK would have been arrested for the CSAM when he should have been, he would have rolled sooner, in my opinion. I think that's part. Let me stop that here. And I know a lot of investigators say that law enforcement would never spend the time or the effort letting somebody kind of go like that, and that it was most likely some kind of a misfiling, because that shit does happen, but I doubt it. That's not what happened in this case. And I think this is going to play a big part into Doug Carter when he says there's parts of this that I wish I could talk to you about, you know. I think this is what he means. There's surveillance and all this. You know, they ran into this large pedo ring. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but sometimes they catch bees and they wrap small thread or fishing line to their legs, and then they follow them back to the hive. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. That way they can grab the honey. People who have survived that way for centuries. So they could have used Kegan Kline in the same fashion, tied a little string to his leg and let the motherfucker fly around to all these pieces of shits, you know, and then track that dog shit all over the place. And maybe they did. I don't know. I mean, I just hope that they're doing stuff like that. I mean, what the hell are our tax dollars doing if they're not? Ruckus says someone was talking to the girls on Anthony Schott's account that day. If not Kagan or RA, then who? And in Kagan's interview transcript, I don't trust the guy as far as I could throw him, but he may be genuinely surprised by that information. Like, whoa, you know, like, I don't know. It's not me. And every time they're like, yeah, you looked up that your friend's family right before the ski mask incident. And he's like, what? No, I didn't. Like, are you trying to pin that on me? What they're doing is they're trying to put pressure on him because they know he no longer has that phone. After the morning of the 13th, the phone that I think that they ended up actually finding in the Wabash River, which is what Kagan pointed out and enabled them to find, that was the pressure they were putting on Kagan to admit to something like that. But he was smart enough not to say, oh shit. He's like, I know you're not trying to pin it on me, because he knew he really hadn't done anything other than what they had already charged him for. I don't know if he did conspire to commit murder. Others may have used him as a tool for their conspiracy. Does that make sense? No, what I think happened was Kagan just basically set up a device for the killer, which could have been Richard Allen or somebody that was with Richard Allen or recruited Richard Allen. So all Kagan did was said, here's one of my burner phones. It's all set up. If you're trying to track this girl, I don't care for whatever reason. You know, I don't know what your interest is. You know, you're a scary guy. I'm not fucking with you. You're obviously interested in this. Here, let me help you. Here, take this phone. I'll log into the account. You can track her that way. And if Kegan Kline's afraid of this person, he's not just going to come out and be like, oh, yeah, it's this guy. Susan says, did Richard Allen request a speedy trial? I believe he did. Yeah, he's definitely cooperating, and the reason that Richard Allen's defense is panicking about not having all the information is because of the pressure they're under about the decision they're going to make, which is a plea deal. And they're also going to most likely drop the dime on somebody. And McClellan doesn't want that somebody running off anywhere. And hopefully that's why the U.S. Marshal was there. Because they're watching this somebody. And if they try to run, or when the word comes out, they can go ahead and start their manhunt. And it doesn't have to be some Jesse James character. It could just be somebody that knows they're guilty and decided to bolt. It's not a Hollywood movie. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the mind of a pot smoker. Vanessa, I don't think so. Because it was said that they were found 50 feet from the shore, and the phone was found 20 feet from them. From my understanding. Miss Thanks says, I cannot believe there have been no major leaks in the case. There's been some. Yeah, I think so too, Ruckus. He says law enforcement got a boatload of information from the Anthony shots and the Dropbox accounts. Yeah, they had to play that. I think they had to play that right. It's kind of like Abby and Libby would want that, you know, if that's what led to their death. was this group of bad people. I mean, you would think that they would want that kind of justice. I just hope that justice is being served. Hey, Miss Dog Lover, massive evidence against Richard Allen. They have probably found DNA in his car and at his house. Let's discuss. Yeah, I've wondered that. I mean, they took the vehicle, but it's been so long. I don't know if he went back in his car. That's the thing. I don't know if he got back in that vehicle after the crime. You know what I mean? He could have cleaned up and come back and picked up the vehicle around 5. Especially if they give the time frame of between 12 and 5. He was seen at 4. Then maybe somebody's seen the vehicle leaving, or they finally seen the vehicle leaving around 5. Which may have been the young guy sketch, you know? Maybe they seen Richard Allen pulling up in the vehicle, and then they see a young guy leaving in the vehicle. Just a thought. Vanessa says, look at the most recent case. Laurel Jean Mitchell took 49 years to get the tip through. Yeah, that was a really tough case. You know, they didn't have the Anthony shots. They didn't have all these connections. They just had this poor girl leaving work late at night, going to Adventureland. And, you know, it was most likely somebody pulled over, said, hey, we'll give you a ride, you know. Hey, you know, looking young, some young teens. And their only intentions were to really hurt her. Thank you. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. Yeah, and I was watching some of your guys' live stream earlier, Marv. Congrats on the 1 year. Anyone else think Garrett Kurtz knows more? I don't know. There's a lot of things we can talk about with Garrett Kurtz. Him working at Packers. Him claiming to be high out of his mind. He doesn't remember. One of the only things that he actually does remember was him begging his grandmother to take him to work that day so that he wouldn't lose his job. So if he's high out of his mind, and then he says that she refused to take him to work because he was still high. Now, if he's high out of his mind and he finds another way, you know, maybe Ron Logan, you know, like, hey, get me to Ron Logan's house and I'll walk across the bridge, because it's a straight shot to Packers, right? Cross that bridge, you know, you'll go right to the Packers plant. So I always wondered if maybe it played a role. Who knows? Apparently he failed a question on his polygraph. Hey, Jessica. I think they definitely have more on Richard Allen. Yeah, they didn't include anything about the search of his home. They recovered all this evidence and it wasn't mentioned in the probable cause affidavit at all. So yeah, they got a lot. Just remember, you heard it here first. Richard Allen will plea out. He's just another domino. And then the manhunt will begin. If we don't see a quick arrest. You watch, the next big thing will come out of the Richard Allen camp will be him taking a plea deal and rolling on others. Yep. 100%. Been saying it for weeks. Like dominoes. Yep, and that Olivia, and that's what Doug Carter said. No, it wasn't Doug Carter, Kim Riley in the 2017 press conference. He said that, well, people didn't come forward because, you know, they're afraid. Why didn't they come forward? That's interesting. I'm telling you, there's going to be some curveballs in this case. I mean, we haven't seen anything yet. The whole reason that everybody is so drawn to this case is because there's something hidden, and those girls do not, their energy will not allow it to happen. The power, their residual power is not going to let justice just not happen. I'm sorry. That's why we're all here right now talking about it. I'm sorry to tell you that. Call me crazy. It will not change that fact. Richard Allen is probably over the initial shock of getting caught. He denied involvement because he knows everyone knows he's a sicko. Now reality is set in. He knows there's no out for him. Well, he doesn't know that yet. His attorneys will tell him that. He's not sure. He thought he was super smart. And he was really smart. You know what I mean? Him coming forward and talking to a conservation officer, you know, God forbid he's not involved in this crime, was extremely smart. Very proactive and, you know, shows forthright. Knowledge forthright of his crime. Hey, what's up, TTM? Did I miss a question? I'm sorry. Miss Thing says, and the Anthony Shots account and the Yellow app. We have nothing further on that. No, nothing. Stripped his clothes off. What? No, thank you guys. Seen by someone, muddy and bloody, got to his car, changed, and threw his bloody cars in bloody boots in the car. I don't think so. I don't think he got back in his car. Call it a hunch. Hey, Heather. Do you think a new Abby was going to be there? Yeah. Be there with... what? She was communicating with Anthony Shots and they were going to meet up. Would Libby have told him that Abby was coming? I don't know. He knew they were there. I don't know how he was tracking them. I mean, I think it was just basically some kind of prior knowledge that they would be there at 1:30. The killer showed up right at 1:30. The victim showed up at 1:40, like 1:45. Well, 1:40, because apparently Kelsey had hung out there for a little while. So I mean, he was only there 10 minutes before they got there. That's precision. That's just enough time to get across, all the way across that bridge. I don't know. It just smells of a setup. I don't know who's involved in this setup, but yeah, they were set up for sure. Heather says, do you think Richard Allen knew Abby would be with Libby? Because if Libby was talking to Anthony Shots and meeting up with him that day, well, honestly, Heather, there's a lot of missed time between. There's a whole week and different weekends, and there was multiple snow days prior to this. So there's a lot of free time. These girls are out doing their thing. There's a whole week prior to the murder that there could have been some interactions that we don't know about. that could have led or could have been part of the motivation behind this crime. Karen agrees so many likely dominoes in this. Well, it seems to appear this way. Yeah, I hope so. You think Richard Allen will throw someone else under the bus? Yes, he will. Once he's advised to, which I think he will when his attorneys are ready. Karen says, so many coincidence is this? I'm utterly floored. Yeah, this case is bizarre. Trey bizarre. You're out. Good night. Have a great night. Oh, Karen says by it, yes, because there's something hidden and unknown. It's a true mystery. Yep. Exactly. That's why we're all drawn to it. There's some kind of evil that needs to be uncovered here. We don't know what it is. We can all sense it. Some are making up crazy stories about it. The truth is, it's there. We just don't know. We can't pinpoint it. Facts and occurrences don't care about people's feelings, intentions, knowledge, or anything else. It will all come out more sooner than later. That's not true, Ruckus. The truth doesn't always come out. I am waiting for the shock that DC is talking about. I am pro law enforcement, but I really think it might have something to do with the conservation officer. I don't know. He seems complicit. He's either a dimwit or complicit. Not sure. Nothing wrong with being a dimwit. I'm a dimwit. One thing you do you hit the nail on the head with comments you make, such as people are attracted to this case because there's something hidden? Couldn't have been more accurate and well stated. Yeah, there's something going on. There's some kind of darkness behind this case that must be revealed in order for there. Definitely something big is hidden, and I feel it in my heart that we will be shocked. I mean, I'm already shocked. I don't know about you, but I've been shocked. That's why I'm here. Like, it's all extremely shocking. Truffles, did Richard Allen have an accomplice, or was he alone? He was friends with Ron Logan. What do you mean he... Like, where do you hear this? And if you know this to be fact, I would love to know. I mean, that's breaking, honestly. Hey, Linda. Thank you so much. That was very nice of you. Thanks for the support. No one knows that for sure. Jamie Hicks. Yep, that timing is just so close. It's hard to think it wouldn't be a setup. I mean, think about it. When you hear Kelsey's account, and even Becky says the same thing, that the girls left right at 1:30. Right? 1:30. That's the same time that Richard Allen got there. That shit is really weird. He gets there at 1:30, and that's when the girls start heading towards the trails. Shit's crazy. Because he was most likely tracking them on social media. Remember, he had a daughter. So I don't know if there's any relation or anything like that. Heather says, yeah, I was more wondering if Richard Allen knew Libby and was bringing Abby with her. What do you mean? Trying to find out who was like the real target? I don't know. It always seemed like it could have been Liberty. There's so much we don't know now. We don't know anything about the motivation. It seems premeditated. Why would you back into the CPS building? I don't understand that. That's what a criminal would do. There's no reason for you to do that. There's no reason for you to park there at all. Well, maybe. I hope so, D. I mean, it's just sad. We don't even really know what happened to those girls or why. Let alone what kind of justice we need. Or should expect. Jamie says, I think the evils in this case will be uncovered. Those girls have spiritual force behind them pushing this case to resolution. And you know, the crazy thing about that comment, Jamie, is I feel like there's another presence pushing on this case that doesn't want it to be solved. You know? And it's not a positive presence. And I can feel that battle constantly. Heather says the conservation officer may have passed along the information. It's not necessarily the conservation officer's fault, if you will. Why not? Why wouldn't it be? If Richard Allen is the person on the bridge and the person on the bridge comes up to the conservation officer, regardless of what the conservation officer does with the information, and says to that conservation officer, look, I was wearing a blue jacket, blue jeans, and I was on the bridge at the exact same moment that those girls went missing. But all I seen were 3 other girls. Here's my phone information. Okay, that's all you got to go on, right? 2 days later, you have a video, or actually you don't have a video, you have 2 images of a person related to the murders. And it's a guy in a blue jacket and blue jeans. Now, if you don't think this conservation officer is suspect, all I can say is that we differ in opinion that that is a possibility. I just don't see that happening. And this could very well be the other person involved, for all I know, because nobody's going to make that mistake. I don't care. Especially if you've written it down, you took the report, and then you handed in the report. And not one time did you say, hey, did you get that report? Did you misfile that report? Hey, the information of this guy came out with the blue jacket and the blue jeans. Hey, did you get my report? You know, I talked to a guy who said he was there at the bridge at that time. Right around the time there was a video of a guy in a blue jacket and blue jeans, I talked to a guy in a blue jacket and blue jeans. Did you guys ever happen to look at that? Now, if you're under the conclusion that this guy didn't put 2 and 2 together, I'm telling you, this very well could be the other person involved. I mean, how else do you explain this? It's either the biggest blunder in law enforcement history, or this motherfucker is in on whatever happened, or knows the person is complicit after the fact. How else do you explain it? If you can explain it in any other way, please leave a very descriptive message in the chat. I would love to understand this. Yeah, nobody's interested in who he was or who he is. The question is, how the fuck did he not put 2 and 2 together? That's the question. Law enforcement can figure out who this guy is. They know who he is. Good night, Miss Dog Lover. Take care. Get me all worked up. It's not these apps you got to worry about. You just have to keep an eye on your kids. Predators can't get to them, you know, if they're not out and about unsupervised. Yeah, they can sneak out, but like me, I'm waiting for that shit. I was a sneak out king. You don't just find a sharp-edged weapon laying around on the ground and two teenagers along an isolated area. I mean, that's not true. It does happen, and people get away, you know, because of circumstance. That's just not what we see. The timeline. Why would he go to the bridge at 1:30 only to kill two girls 30 minutes later? Or actually 45 minutes later. Doesn't make any sense. Not only that, apparently the dude backed in. And a witness explained him walking with purpose. Past 3 potential victims. If he wasn't trying to get somewhere at a certain time, why wouldn't he just attack them? Maybe he saw 3 and then saw 2. And was like, okay, well, 2's better than 3. Sleuth, do you think the 2 sketches are of 2 different people? I think it is 2 persons depicted. The thing is, Lisa, is that law enforcement is going to make a sketch of what the people that they're interviewing is describing. Now, what we have is what appears to be 2 separate people that are being described, right? That's the way I'm seeing it. They're trying to do their best to put this together, but we got a man all in black. You know, there's a lot we don't know, and they don't have to put everything in the PCA. I'm telling you, there's a lot that we don't know for a reason. And I think the reason that we don't know is because they knew a whole lot early on. And they're not going to reveal that. What do you mean? We the people says not his fault. Where has he been for 6 years? What do you mean? Not sure what your question means. Richard Allen has nothing more to offer. You don't think so? Okay. Wondering if the girls knew Richard Allen before that day. I think it's very possible, yeah. I think there's possibility of a relationship. Maybe Kagan Klein is involved, but not involved. You know, in the transcript, they say that Liberty fell for it. She was completely enamored with this Anthony Schatz character. And why not? You know, why not? Why doesn't she deserve a good-looking, successful guy, you know? She's a victim of this guy. So maybe she confided in this person. And if he's talking about meeting her at the bridge or whatever, maybe she said, hey, since we're going to move forward with our relationship, well, I want to tell you about this creepy guy that I've been seeing. You know, like I've been dating an older man or something. Or maybe even she said Abby was talking to an older man. And maybe the text message where she said that, he just happened to throw that into the river. You know, it just happened to have a bunch of other shit he was trying to hide, so he threw it. So during an interview with law enforcement, maybe they asked him like, and then he's like, well, yeah, I do have something. My attorney said if I can give you something helpful, you guys will help me. And they're like, yeah, we'll help you if it's helpful. And he's like, well, I'm not connected to the murder, but Libby told me that there was some creepy guy that she was dating and that she was going to break it off with him and let him know that she's dating me now. You know, so maybe there's some kind of connection like that. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying that there's a possibility that there's some kind of weird connection like that. To where Keegan Kline gained information from Libby pertaining to the killer or a potential killer, but not him being involved. You know what I mean? These are all just theories, really. Thoughts. Karen says, yeah, this officer is a complete failure. In my honest opinion, he's nuts as they come. Not to immediately report this. Yeah. I mean, they're showing this person on the news, right? You took the report. I mean, you took a detailed report. You didn't just take a report. You took a detailed report from somebody that told you they were on the bridge. The very bridge the girls were at the very time they disappeared. And you said nothing. Either he said nothing, or he's taking the fall now for people withholding information. He may be taking the fall for it. Or they may just putting random blame out there. Like, hey, this conservation officer, it's his fault. Okay, what's his name? Oh, we don't have a name. Oh, okay. I don't know. We the people says, why no public push to find out who the conservation officer is? I really don't know, because there's really no way to explain it. We don't know what their motive is. We don't know what their strategy is, and it's not about a witch hunt, right? It's like whoever the conservation officer is, law enforcement knows who he is. It doesn't make a difference if we know. They know. So it's about putting pressure on them. We don't have to know. Why didn't Richard Allen come forward after DC asked? Well, if he's the killer, he's not going to come forward. It's parked at the CPS. Yeah, exactly. Because he's a killer. Or involved, for sure. Because if he's just hiking and hanging out on the bridge, going to the bench, yeah, he would have come forward. And I've asked that prior, if he's innocent. But the truth is, he's already come forward. How many times does he need to come forward? How many times does a man need to come forward before he's exonerated? The dude already came forward. All he has to say is what? I've already come forward. Hey, man, you kind of look like that bridge guy dude. Oh, well, I've already talked to law enforcement. Oh, okay. Well, it's not him. How many times does he need to come forward? Heather says, no, I totally think he is, but I'm just saying they messed up the case so bad it may not be his fault. He may have passed along the information. I don't know what you mean. Dwight West says, I think Richard Allen came forward because one of the girls spoke hello to him. Richard Allen thought she recognized him from CBS. I don't know if he thought that, but I think you're right. He only admitted to what he knew could be proven. You know what I mean? Anybody that he came in contact with, he admitted to. which is, I think, a smart thing to do. Shows intelligence on his part. Quick thinking. Digital, what's up? If they don't have his car on film, they can prove those witness statements will not hold up in court concerning the car. The PCA says the car that resembles his. Yeah, I think they have an uphill battle. They have a battle showing that they were constitutionally in a position to legally search his home. So that might be a problem. But most importantly, I think once they can prove that the search was legal, they're just going to show what they found. And I think what they found is some things that he could not part with. Hatbox, what's up? Says, I believe the conservation officer story was made up. Yeah, it could have been. And that could be the reason why we don't have a name. It could be like a scapegoat story. You know, something they just threw out there. Deja vu, girls went there regularly. Who else would know that? Well, not only that, who else would know that they would be there at that specific time? And why would Richard Allen go direct? He's like, I'm going to murder someone today. I'm going to the High Bridge. I'm going to back into the CPS building. I'm going to go on the trail. And then the first people I see come across that bridge, I'm going to kill them. That's not what he did. He was part of this. And I don't know if he was recruited, hired as a hitman, had a relationship with one of the girls and was motivated to silence them. I'm not sure. But this shit was definitely premeditated. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense, Heather. Even if it got lost, why didn't he come forward? It makes no sense. Think about it. Put yourself in his position. Okay, you're talking to Richard Allen, and apparently it was like right after the crimes. Oh, okay. You're wearing a blue jacket, blue Carhartt jacket. Okay. Blue jeans. Okay. What time were you out there? Oh, between, 1:30 and 2:30. Okay. You were on the bridge too around that time? Yeah, I was out on the bridge. Yep, for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we got a video of the killer on the bridge wearing a blue jacket and blue jeans. I mean, just saying it out loud, I mean, am I the only one is seeing this? Am I seeing nothing? I don't know. It's almost like the truth is hiding in plain sight. Also, be careful allowing your younger children having sleepovers. You aren't, yep, I don't, exactly. And my daughter thanks me still to this day because of the horror stories she's heard. Hey, Big Fish, like backing in makes his car less obvious. No one parked there. It's not about being less obvious. You can't identify the car without the identifying marker, which is the license plate. You hide it, you can't identify the car. Yeah, I have a Ford Focus, so what? Oh, well, we don't have a license plate. Okay. Let me know when you do. That's why he hid it. Premeditation. I think Richard Allen admitting he was there made law enforcement take a closer look at the video. What video? They didn't have it until after 2018. We know that because the Ron Logan affidavit says that the girls were dropped off at 1. It's bullshit. They now have a video that proves they were dropped off closer to 1:40. Question is, why didn't they have that video? Why did those people hold that video? Did they have to subpoena? Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit going on. But we got about 15 minutes to hang out, guys. Hey, what's up, Mandy? Good to see you. Growing Crazy says Richard Allen knows who actually killed the girls. When did those witnesses give their accounts? Before or after they released the picture? The young girls gave their account before. So they may actually be the part of the younger looking sketch. We know that was provided on the 17th by to Trooper Bryant, the sketch artist. Now we know from the presser in 2017, not the first one, but the second one, the strange one where they're in that little white room with Kim Riley, that the person who provided that sketch, and this was when they released the older guy sketch, the one with the goatee and the little golfer cap, the paperboy cap, and all of that. Well, he said that witness didn't come forward right away. Well, why the fuck not? Oh, they were scared. Scared of what? If you don't know who the killer is, why wouldn't you be scared? And not to mention, she said he definitely didn't have blue eyes. Okay. But Richard Allen actually does have bluish eyes. Shit is suspect. We said it from the beginning. False testimony, and we should be looking for a killer with blue eyes. I hate to say that it's that simple, but it really is appearing that it is that simple. If the lie appears to be a lie, there's a chance that it is. Would Libby wear sweatpants and tie-dye shirt to meet a boy? Now look how Abby was dressed. Yeah, why not? I don't know. Style is really different. Style, like we know nothing about what their sense of style is. Why walk bloody and muddy, see a cart pass you, and not come up with some sort of story about why someone would have seen you like that? Yeah, that's strange. Muddy and bloody. The only thing that doesn't make sense with the whole blue eyes is why say if you're trying to avoid describing the killer, why would you describe him in a blue jacket and blue jeans, muddy and bloody? You know, you wouldn't describe if you were trying to hide who it really was, you wouldn't say that. But if you were trying to set somebody up, maybe you would. Yeah, it is plausible, especially in the bar scene. Richard Allen, Chadwell, Kagan. Yeah, I have a police report with Brian Chadwell, and he was 2 blocks from Tony Klein's home, and he did a beer run. That doesn't mean that they knew each other, but yeah, I mean, they definitely lived very close, which that is proof of. Mm-hmm. It's a good point, Big Fish. And a lot of people question that till this day. Why? Sees through. How does he go sit on the bench without passing the girls? Impossible. Well, I mean, it's not impossible. But what's impossible is the fact that the witness didn't see him. The witness only saw him on the bridge. And then she went about her business, walking the trails, and then she left. And then while she was leaving, she saw the girls. If he was on the bench, the truth is she would have saw him again on her way back on the bench, just like she saw the girls. So that's how they know that it's full of shit. And that's why I think that he went all the way across the bridge and either met with somebody or somebody was already back there. It was like a squeeze point. They squeezed him down for a specific reason at a specific time. Farm Bureau. Yeah, Big Fish says he said he parked at the Farm Bureau building, right? Maybe he thought they were talking about... No. He's talking about the CPS building. Regardless of what people say, there was another building. He didn't park there and then come hiking through the woods. He parked at the CPS building. Maybe the conservation officer did tell other law enforcement, but they can't admit it now. Yeah, that's a possibility. And maybe that's the person who came forward like, hey, what the fuck? But it would be important to say something like that. Grown Crazy says, I would have been up the sheriff's ass every day after the interview with Richard Allen if I was the conservation officer. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You had some of these conservation officers standing on the podium, behind the podium on the stage during these press conferences while they're releasing images of a guy in a blue jacket and blue jeans. Now, how frustrating is that? This motherfucker was running around for 6 years. And if others are involved, they're still running around. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. And I don't know. The FBI seems kind of shady too. Especially after all that Nassar stuff. And them being involved in the Marathon gas station. And also, apparently, the FBI played a part in the transaction of this information. But it still doesn't excuse why the conservation officer didn't come forward after the fact. Karen says it cannot and will not ever comprehend Richard Allen placed himself there on the day at the time, and that it is himself and wearing the exact same clothing and taking almost 6 years. Yeah, it's bizarre. They had to have known. Either they're just releasing the fact that, yeah, you know, he came forward to conservation officer, but we're not going to tell you who it is. And that's why we've been watching him, but we don't have enough information. And it always brings me back to the Brian Koberger and the Idaho murders. Like, they had the thumbprint. They had a thumbprint. They had the car. They were able to track the car. And then once they went back to Philly, they pulled the finger. I think they pulled some trash and got DNA. So they had everything that they needed. But imagine if they had everything they needed but that specific tie. Or maybe they lost or contaminated a piece of evidence that they had in their possession. So it kind of fucked up what they were trying to do. They couldn't Koberger Richard Allen because they couldn't tie everything that they had, but they still knew it was him. I really think that that's a possibility. Personally, I think Leggett wanted to arrest him, just a gut feeling. Yeah, maybe. But I also heard a rumor that Leggett lost some evidence. So they may have had some tainted evidence and weren't able to tie it all together, with that smoking gun. But that's just all rumors. I'm not going to lean on that. I don't know about different witnesses, Karen. We only know about the one. But there could be more. There could be a whole lot more. If you're talking about rumor mill stuff, yeah, who knows? Crazy shit we hear. Now, one of the closer to Delphi rumor mill pieces of information that I heard was that there was one of the witnesses not mentioned was taking photographs, or one of the witnesses that actually was mentioned was taking other photographs, or the photographs on the bench, and there was some people captured in the background, and one of them happened to be wearing like a scream mask. That's just a rumor, though. And he was also all in black, which is kind of a coincidence. Hey, what's up, Deb? Good to see you. How you doing? Possible. I don't know enough about those apps. I know, and I don't even know if you could track with Snapchat. But truthfully, all you need is like one post. Let's say a Facebook post, Snapchat post. Going to the high bridge at 2. Okay, well, if I'm planning to kill these people, I'm going to get there at 1:30. Ruckus says, does anybody not think that Richard Allen is BG? I think that he is, but I also think there's a possibility that he's not. Still involved, but there's a real small possibility that he's not. I mean, it is possible that there's two killers that are dressed similar. Not likely. I'm just saying, there's a possibility. Karen says, the thought he has crossed my mind definitely about being hired. Yeah, he could have been. He was definitely motivated. A lot of money involved in that trail right now. A lot of money coming through. And one of the people that was very involved in that money was there that day. You, Sleuth, you are one of the only willing to mention it. Seriously, it's hiding in... Yeah. I mean, think about it. You guys ever watch that show Dexter? Imagine being a conservation officer and a serial killer at the same time. Just make sure all your bodies end up in the river where you would be in charge of the search. It's brilliant. But it's also just a conspiracy theory. Mission to complete. That's not true, Sean. Definitely, I guarantee would not the first time. Good to see you, though. Hope you're well. Vanessa says, I think it's nuts that tip was lost. Well, mislabeled. Crazy. I don't think we will ever get an answer on that anytime soon, though. Yeah, too many asses are on the line on that one. Angelina, what's up? I honestly think only one perp. Richard Allen, remember PCA, and only a fraction. Real evidence is yet to be seen. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I mean, he would have to use a ruse. You know, tie up the girls, blindfold them, and then kill them. How else do you not have a struggle? You know, how are you controlling these two people? Two rambunctious, very smart kids. I don't see it. Sorry to hear that, Mike. That back pain. Been there. Something fishy about the conservation officer. It may be fabricated. Could be fabricated. It could be a cover-up for something deeper. Could be something planted by the FBI. I don't know. I don't trust the FBI. But that's just me. Motherfuckers are corrupt. Knowing them, law enforcement, they probably messed up the video and had to fix. So it took them a while. Just saying. No, there's something more going on with the Hoosier Harvester video. That wasn't released till shortly before the 2019 presser. I can guarantee it. Or they finally decided to release that information, which doesn't make any sense. So I'm sticking with the prior. Or the previous. March 17th, I think. Yeah. Yep, the 17th. Yep, March 17th. That is correct. Plenty of time to hide evidence, if you ask me. Not that I think he's involved, but just leaning towards those who do. All right, guys, we got 2 more minutes. I'm going to bounce on out of here. Karen says, I like how much you thoroughly go over so much and cover many possibilities with different individuals. Can very well hit something by doing this process. I agree. I don't care who judges me. If it can help with this, good. Again and again, follow all the way to Vegas. Yeah, for sure. That could be where the motive could be in Vegas. Early search warrant served on Maxwell's and known links to what is now known. No, that's a good point you bring up, Angelina. I have not found any connections. And it's my understanding that in that probable cause for that search warrant is the first time that they mention a 40 caliber weapon. And I also know that Tara German witnessed that person who was living at that home walking on the railroad bridge nearby. Not the bridge, but on the railroad tracks nearby. So I think with them seeing him, and then also, not to mention that, but apparently there was some kind of conversation going on between him and one of the victims prior. It was no big deal, just kind of like some flirting or whatever. So apparently that communication, him being spotted, and then him having access to a 40 caliber weapon of his father's, I think was enough for them to conduct a search warrant. And in that search warrant, they mentioned the 40 caliber, but when I think they pulled the weapon and tested it and realized that it was a different gun. So, I mean, they were trying to find this guy. You know, it's not like they weren't, but it sounds like somebody may have had their hand in the cookie jar. Yeah, that's true, Karen. Three girls named KK. Weren't they also at the slumber? Yeah. Slumber party that Libby talked. Yeah, that is true. It seems like the beginning, for whatever reason, whatever the motivation is, I think it happened prior to February or happened late January. And they may have used Kagan to gain access to these girls. But I don't know. That's just a theory. All right, guys. I'm out of time. Maybe we'll play this little Insomnia crew intro. We'll turn it into an outro. Let's try that.
You've been up all night?
Is it morning?
Yes.
Thanks
Then
for
I've been
hanging
up
out,
all night.
everybody.
What's going on with you? I haven't slept in 2 days.
With insomnia, nothing's real. Everything's far away.
Can't be easy after 3 days of no sleep. Are you seeing things yet?
Hey, are you awake?
Yeah. 12 hours of work and I still can't sleep. Damn.
They get you when you sleep. But you can only stay awake so long.
I am awake.
Is the light keeping you awake?
No.
28 days. 6 hours. 42 minutes. 12 seconds.
How long's it been since you slept?
Hey, bossy.
Coming up on the 7th day. It's okay, I checked Guinness. The record's 11.
Mom! People don't act like this! What's wrong with you? Henry,
Shut
you're
up.
not normal. She's right. What? You fell asleep on the couch again.
You know you're supposed to go to your room.
Another night up like this and you're really gonna lose it.
Honey, I can't sleep.
And I hope it's the long one.
Yeah.
Why you so concerned me go to sleep?
Good night.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Good night, Ray.
Why don't you go to sleep? Why I can't just sit here and look at your ass?
Hey, Anthony.
Just
Good to
as the
see you.
little engine was making his way across the dresser. Boom!
All right, you ain't gonna get no sleep there either. I'm telling you, because I'm up now.
I know why you're here, Neil. I know what you've been doing. I know why you hardly sleep.
Sparky, why don't you turn off the TV and come to bed?
Please, it's time to go to sleep! Oh my God!
It looked
Thanks
like
for hanging out, Vanessa.
this.
Can't sleep. Clown will eat me. Can't sleep. Clown will eat me.
And may please go to sleep.
I can't sleep. Don't you understand? I can't sleep.
Stay sleepy.
Do you not wish to sleep, sir? I don't think so.
It's way better with more people.
I'm gonna come tell you. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, get in here, man. Get right
Thanks,
in there.
Susan. People with common sense.
Now you will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep.
All right, guys. I want to thank you for hanging out. That's all the time I got tonight. I think it was a pretty good convo. Thanks for hanging out and participating in the chat. And I'll catch you on the next one. Make sure I add all of these on the screen here for the replay crew. Shout out to you guys too. Leave a comment. Shout out to Ruckus, Karen. Let me get all these comments up here. Vanessa. Digital Beach. Thank you, Deb. So all we're trying to do is provoke some thought. Hey, Lisa. Good night. Yep, hit that like button if you haven't already. Shout out to Hoosier the Bruiser. Rest in peace, my brother. We know you're watching. We know you're there. Karen, Anthony, thank you. Mike. Thank you, Jerry. Hey, BN, good to see you. And tax cut. Later, everybody. I'm out of here. Enjoy your weekend. I might catch you over the on Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. Other than that, be safe. Bye.